Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today we're going to do the first look on this brand new Roborock Qrevo Edge 3 Pro. This was just released. Now I did purchase this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, but I do use links. If you purchase this product from a link in my video or on my website, justadadapproved.com, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. This is Home of the Honest Review, where I promised you to purchase these products with my own money. I don't take sponsorships and I don't take free products. That way I can give you my honest opinion and a dad's common sense to robot vacuum cleaner testing. Now in this video, I'm going to unbox it. There's not a whole lot to unbox it. That's all it comes with. But we're going to set it up, connect it to the Roborock app, map our home. We're going to edit the map, go over all the settings, and then we'll do a cleaning, the very first cleaning in the Just a Dad approved studio corner cleaning test over here. Now you can find this on my website, justadadapproved.com. That's where all the robots that are already approved you can find. This one, I got to go live with it, take it to my home for about 2 to 3 months to see if it's going to be approved. But the specs, these are the specs that I think are important to a robot. I've purchased over 200. This is what I think helps people make informed decisions. You can find this right now on my website. But eventually, after I do my scorecard, you'll see the scorecard, the complete review of this, and where it ranks with all the other robots that I've tested. Let's just talk about it. This is a premium flagship robot. It is loaded with features, but it's also got it loaded with a price tag, $1,500. They do have it on sale for $1,250. This is one of the most expensive robots out there right now. 36,000 pascals of suction. That's really high. The mop pads do detach. You can leave them at the base station. It does push the mop pads down with 14 newtons of force, 200 RPMs. It does do hot water mopping. So the base station can fill the robot up with hot water and it can spray water on top of them to do hot water mopping. It's got the standard anti-tangle dual divide brush roller. Now it's got threshold climbing wheels. These little wheels deploy and will lift the robot over thresholds. And that's going to be a stepped threshold for almost 3.5 inches tall. We also have a carpet sensor. It can raise and lower the mop pads. And again, it can also leave the mop pads back at the base station. Side brush, anti-tangle, and it extends it into the corner. This is a very premium one. It does have a camera on the front, an optical avoidance sensor, and an LED light. You can disable that if you're worried about privacy. 2 physical buttons up here. That's a sensor for when it goes under furniture. This reminds me a lot of the Qrevo X. That LiDAR raises up and down. There's where it fills the robot's internal water tank. Here's the dustbin. It's going to vacuum your home. Everything's going to go into this dustbin. You're going to have to clean this filter. This is pretty standard as far as they've kind of used this design before. So this is going to have 2 features that are normally premium robots: threshold climbing wheels and thin profile. Normally we don't see those 2 together unless it's a very expensive robot. The width of the robot, 13 3/4 or 35 centimeters. Now the specs say 3.1 inches. Let's measure it. So I got about 3 1/8, almost 3 1/4 inches tall, or about 8 centimeters. Here's that mechanism that it extends into the corner. It looks like it's got these little 2 ports for spraying water on top of the mop pads. These are just held on with Velcro. These are kind of the newer style mop pads also. Again, it can leave them at the base station. This is a standard for Roborock, their dual divide system. This works really well. It doesn't need a comb. You simply have a divide in the middle. Now they talk a lot about chassis lift, and it can lift this main brush up and down. When it's in a mopping only event, it can lift that up so that it's not dragging this in the water. And then when it's vacuuming, it can put it down. But there's also a special feature they're talking about, really thick carpet. It can raise this and also raise the chassis. They call it dynamic carpet cleaning for 1.18 inches thick carpet. And they have main brush stabilization. I have no idea what that is. They said it was released back in 2025, but somehow it stabilizes this main brush. Now we do get a larger clean water tank, 4 liters, compared to a 3-liter dirty water tank. And this dock is a new design that we saw recently on the Qrevo 2. There's the beads, that's for hard water deposits. There's a filter, there's the float, that's pretty standard. dirty water tank. It's got a float. You can put the odor preventing beads in there also. Here's something new. This, well, not new, but this is a location new. This is the solution tank. You put the Roborock concentrated solution in here. It's underneath the tanks. It's a little different way of doing it. And the dust bag is right there. You're simply gonna lift that up. There's nothing special going on in there. You're gonna replace that dust bag every couple months. Plug the power cord in, make sure it's in all the way. 3 prongs, 6 feet long. It consumes 120 volts. So it just says max 9.8. It doesn't really say what amperage it's putting out for when it's heating the water, but 9.8 amps probably. Got a new sticker here to let you know hot water mop washing kind of at a glance. I'm going to start doing something like this on all these robots because it's getting hard to remember which ones have which. Here's the dock. It's got these things that go up and down, but it's got tray removal. But here is where it fills the robot up with hot water. There's the dirty water suction. There's where the clean water, the hot water, which is 212 degrees, which is kind of new for a Roborock. That's almost boiling. It's going to wash the mop pads. There's the auto empty charging. It does have fast charging. And then the hot air comes out right here. Tray removal. I love tray removal. So we can take this to the sink. You're not going to have anything to clean up down there. You do have to take this out once in a while. Make sure that flow, you don't damage that flow, but you will need to clean this whole area. But it's very simple to clean it with a brush. And it goes in so easy. Front to back, 19 inches or 49 centimeters. Left to right, 15 or 38 centimeters. Now you do need quite a bit of room above it. You got to lift those tanks up. So you're going to need a clearance of around 24 inches or 61 centimeters, but it's only about 17 inches tall. Okay, let's fill the clean water tank up with clean water. The solution tanks, I'll put links to all of this in the show description notes and it's on my website. The Roborock floor cleaning, you're going to put the concentrated solution in here. Takes almost the whole bottle. Now, the dirty water tank, every time you empty it, put an effordent tablet in there. These things will start to stink really bad. There is a ionizing tablet or thing you can put in here that also does it, but I like that. Again, I'll have links to all of this in the video description and on my website. And this is the brush. You're going to need to clean this tank. This brush works great. And also the easy clean or the scrubbing bubbles. All right, you're simply going to push the solution down in there. I've got the dock plugged in. The light's red, but that's because the tanks are out. Now it's white. Let's turn the robot on. Press and hold this button for about 5 seconds. These lights will start to breathe, and then we're going to connect to the Roborock by scanning this code right here. You should hear a tone. Now the Roborock app is free to use. You've got to log in with a username and password, but click the little plus button up here. That's going to activate your camera. You give it access to your camera, and then you're going to scan that code with your phone. Now it's asking me, I already turned it on, so I heard that, hit next. Now select your Wi-Fi and then give it your Wi-Fi password. Your tablet's going to connect to the robot, tell the robot what Wi-Fi to go connect to. This should all be automatically, but sometimes you have to manually connect to the Wi-Fi being transmitted by this. And then then they just go back to their normal Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi connected.
Yeah. Enter the device. All right, looks like it worked. That was very, very easy. Robot's a little heavy, so be careful. Now we're going to dock it. Make sure you hear charging.
Charging.
Okay, now let's go through the setup. Hit agree. It's going to walk you through some settings. You can change these later. They're always in the settings, but do you have pets? Yes. Carpet? Yes. Do you want it to detach the mop pads? Yes. Do not disturb. Make sure that's on. Map saving. I don't know why that's off, but you definitely want the maps to be saved. Voice assistant. I've got too many robots, but that does work pretty good. This does have matter. Now, it's got an update. I'd recommend doing this right now. So let's do it. It usually doesn't take very long. Okay, so I used Gemini to research what Roborock's stabilization brush was. It's pretty cool, and they should be advertising this. So when you're in deep carpet cleaning mode, the main brush maintains a locked, stable downward pressure during a second cleaning pass. Improved debris. Instead of floating over carpet, stabilization forces the brush to stay firmly engaged with the carpet pile. And then this complementary lift, that's when it lowers it when it's vacuuming and lifts it whenever it's detected like liquid, or when it's in a mopping only event. Okay, that took about 10 minutes. We're going to do quick mapping. There's a voice pack update. We can those go pretty quick. Let's just go through the settings real quick. History, schedule, put it on schedule, maintenance. This is where you have to reset all the maintenance reminders. Dust bag, replace as needed. Carpet cleaning settings. This is, you get vacuum avoid, vacuum carpets first, adaptive lift. So we'll have to play around with that. They don't give us a whole lot of information. A carpet boost, deep carpet cleaning, and avoid cleaning wires and debris along carpet borders. That's kind of new, I think. Floor cleaning settings. We got cleaning pattern. You can do clean along floor direction. After it maps your home, you can tell it what direction the floor is going in. Safe clearance, extreme. How often do you want to lower the LiDAR? Extend the mop. Extend the side brush. Extended cleaning for crevices. That's beta. I'll leave that off for now. Automatic remopping. It does have a dirt detection sensor. That's been a while since we've seen a robot with this. When a dirty area is detected, remopper will return to the dock for mop washing, double mop after. Okay, deep cleaning for heavy dirt and stain. The robot will may start deep cleaning when any heavy dirt or stains are detected. That's beta. I may turn that on later. Obstacle crossing assistance on carpet. When enabled, the robot will use climbing arms to cross obstacles on carpet. To protect the carpet, only use if the robot has difficult crossing. So we'll leave it off for now. That's probably for a really thick rug. Dock settings. This is important. Mop wash frequency. How often do you want it to go back and wash your mop? Do you want it to figure out for you how to do it, or by room or by time? Washing mode. Smart. You want it to figure out the duration, the water and all that, or you can do custom. I can pick out the amount of water it uses during washing and the temperature. Cleaning solutions. None, standard, or high volume. Ooh, I like that now. I'm going to use high volume. Dust bin auto empty frequency. Ooh, I wish we had a slider scale, but we get it. So you're definitely going to want to put this on high. Doesn't say how often it goes back. Smart. I want max. I want that thing to auto empty as much as possible and as heavy as possible. Drying. I like scheduled drying, but you can do auto drying just whenever it docks. Duration standard. Ooh, they don't give us times. Interesting. Dock maintenance. This is drain the onboard water tank. Okay, reactive optical avoidance. That's on. Photos is off. I'm going to turn it on. You have to agree with the privacy policy. Less collision. High coverage. So if you find that it's bumping into too much stuff, you're going to want to go to less collision. But we'll leave it on high coverage. That's the default setting. AI environment, fill lights automatically. Pets. Cleaning settings. After it maps your home, you can tell it where certain pet beds are. You can tell it, you can do pets pics and stuff. That's really cool stuff. Manage map, that's where you do multi-floor mapping. Voice assistant, remote viewing. Connect to Matter, more options. Do not disturb, smart charging, button lights, child lock, offline maps, remote control, pin and go, user manual, product info. This is where you change the name. I'm going to go to square feet. There's nothing else. Firmware. So we're up to date. Normally there's an automatic update button, but I don't see it on this. Okay, let's just go to quick mapping. Open up your doors, turn your lights on, pick stuff up off the floor. But sit back. This is the coolest thing. It's going to randomly go through your house and create the map in live time. This is what's cool. Now we don't get the option to add a threshold. So if you have a threshold, like I got a threshold here, I don't know if it's going to recognize that and go into that room, or if I've got to wait for it to complete the map and then put the threshold there. We'll see. Dreamy and Mova will let you add thresholds during mapping, which I think is nice. But this is really cool. It doesn't take long at all. So I think it's trying to figure out. Now this is during mapping. So it does a chassis lift, but that's not alone. It's got to deploy those wheels to get over that threshold. So there's what the chassis lift looks like. But maybe it'll deploy them. It is. That was like a controlled crash.
Other settings in the app.
Okay, mapping was pretty good. It recognized that threshold. Now it is saving the map. It reinstalled the mop pads. All right, let's adjust. It's going to walk you through a bunch of steps here. You can adjust the rotation. I don't need to do that. I want to divide rooms though, so click, and you can do all of this later, but it's best to do it first at the very beginning. That way when you do your automations and stuff. That'll be the corner test, and it's important to label the room. So take your time here, label the rooms. We're going to do floor material. So I'm done dividing. I can combine rooms. Hit next. Names. I do recommend using the names they have, but you can also do custom ones. That helps with the automations. If you use like bathroom or bedroom, it'll figure out how to clean it better for you. Hit next. So no-go zones. I do want to add a couple no-go zones. I know there's an area over here, it's going to struggle, so I'm going to put a no-go zone. You can make that any size you want, and you can add these later when you find out your robot's really struggling in an area. You can add invisible walls. It won't go past that wall, so you could put that at the entrance to a dock, but you can't put it anywhere around the dock. And then next, threshold. So I do have a threshold. Now it didn't automatically, oh it did. It did automatically add the threshold. There it is. So I want to make that, you can make it bigger. You can rotate it a little bit. There's where it is. So it did automatically add that threshold, but you can add more. That's where it will deploy the legs. That's one of the main reasons you would be getting this robot. Furniture, I don't do this right away. You can do it later. Oops.
Vacuuming is starting.
So it wants to do a vacuum of your house to figure out, it's going to fine tune the map some more. It's going to figure out where all your carpet is. So I hit the clean button. So it's going to detach the mop pads and do an entire vacuuming on your house. I do recommend this. It does help get everything all squared away in the map. But I don't have time for it right now, so I'm going to go through the settings. It can detach the mop pads and leave them at the base station. And it reinstalled them. So let's go to the map again. Floor type. These are important. Yeah, it's already ended. Floor type. The map's a little Just a little diagonal here, but pretty good. So let's pick the floor type here. It's wood. You can tell it which pattern it's going. Mine's going this way. You can tell if it's tile or other. We already did carpet. Don't mess with the carpet right now. Let it vacuum your entire home, and then you can go back and fine tune where the carpet is. You can add low lying areas. So under furniture, this is a nice important one. I have a low lying area all through here. Hopefully it'll go under there. We'll see what else we got. We got curtains. So it says it'll go behind curtains. I don't have this. It's this blue squiggly line. You can put wherever curtains are and it'll go through the curtains. I just don't have curtains that go to the ground. Furniture, no-go zones, combined. Okay, so there's all your... If you want to name the map, that's important. And then let's go to settings, some more settings. So now you can do floor cleaning. You can do clean along floor direction. I do recommend doing that. It does clean better when it does that. Okay, let's clean up a big mess in the world famous Just a Dad corner cleaning test area. Mud, a bunch of debris. Now this has really smart optical avoidance, so it may see some of that as an obstacle, but we'll see. Let's just do a single room right here. I already told it what type of floor. Let's do a room. Custom, I want to do vacuum. Oh, I didn't show everybody what it can do. It can do vacuum followed by mop, vacuum only. You got 4 levels of suction. You got a slider scale for how wet you want it, 1 or 2 passes, and the cleaning pattern. Or you can just tell it the smart plan where it figures everything out. But we're going to do a custom. I want really high suction because there's a lot of debris, lots of water, 2 passes, deep cleaning, yes, because I know I've got some stuff there. All right, then I'm going to hit start.
Starting selective room cleaning.
So it's going to wash the mop roller, fill the robot up with hot water. Everything sounds about standard now. You've got the water pump and the dirty water pump kicking on. All right, I'm going to try to remember. I got this thermal gun. We're going to see the hot water mopping, you know. And then I've got the white glove ready to go. Okay, it's traveling over. We're going to see how well the Roborock Edge 3 Pro cleans up this big mess. It's vacuuming and mopping at the same time. We're checking for hot water mopping. Definitely got the mop pads are hotter. We'll focus on this in a minute. All right, that's the first pass. It's going to do the perimeter of the room first, then it'll go back and forth in the nice straight lines. Compared to over there. doing a great job of cleaning. Wow. Excellent job of cleaning. It did kick a few things back, a few coffee chunks. There's a Cheerio. Sounded like it got it. That floor is clean. Now there's a little bit in this crack here. Not too bad, but wow. Overall, on the first pass, wow. There's the first corner. There's a little bit that it left, but it's getting it now. Not sure why it stopped over there. Maybe it's... Now, I've got this marked as a low-lying area. I think it's coming over here to do that. Let me turn down the vacuum. It is kind of loud on max. Oh, it lowered the LiDAR. I missed it. It should have gone under that, but it's got that marked as a wall. Like right there, it should have gone under that. But I can always go back and mark it. Maybe it'll do it. Normally it just knows that. Now it's doing the crisscross pattern. It didn't do the perimeter of the room again. But we'll see, maybe at the end. But overall, this is a very clean floor, okay? First corner test, or first corner pass, very little left. This one, a little bit more left. It had a little bit more. It did kick some of the kitty litter back over to that way. But I don't mind that, because if it's on 2 passes, it usually can get it. But we'll see. Now, by this time, it's not hot water mopping. I'll have to set that test up again. I've got the water cranked up really high, almost to max. I have seen a few drips, but nothing major. So it is getting quite, it's going up against the perimeter almost, but it didn't continue. Yeah, I've got it like on a meticulous pattern, and I have got it turned up pretty high. So we could turn it down to modern. Let's go to quiet. I like these buttons, skip area, add area. If it's doing your entire home and it starts to bother you, you can just go to your app, tell it to skip the area. It'll leave the room that it's in that's bothering you. Or if the kids make a mess, you can press add a room and it'll go clean it. It'll stop what it's doing and go clean that area. I did have a bunch of hairs. They were just blonde hairs on the floor. We'll check for hair wrap. But yeah, overall, this floor, it's very clean. Very, very clean. It even got quite a bit of that, but there is a little bit left there. You know, the corner cleaning, you almost want it to stay there just a little bit longer and just kind of brush it, maybe slower. And vacuum a little bit, maybe increase suction in a corner. I don't know. I think they could do a little bit better job. They have really advanced technology, but they do leave the corners just a little bit. But these are extreme tests. I get that. Okay, it's all done. Heading back to the dock. We're going to empty out the dirty water when it's all done. Check the auto empty.
Emptying dustbin.
Yeah, that sounded like a really good auto empty.
Starting to wash the mop.
It's almost done. It's spinning the mop pads at a varying speed now. Now it's going really high. A lot of similarities with the Qrevo, except this has the threshold climbing wheels. Dock is different. This is I'm not a big fan of this new style dock. It's kind of half curved, half square. I got the 515, 575 reviews coming out. I got the 775 at my home. It's not doing too bad. These are brand new from Roomba.
Completed.
Okay, it's going to dry the mops. Very quiet. Wow. Not much water. About standard. Got some coffee here. That's a little unusual, but no hair wrap. And
Dustbin removed.
Dustbin is clean.
Dustbin installed.
Looks in good shape. This looks to be very good. Now be sure and check out my website where you can find my 2026, 2025 picks of the year, justadadapproved.com. Okay, next step is to take it to my home. I'll have it clean the studio a couple times because it's an obstacle course here. I have a feeling it'll do okay, but I got to get this to my home. I have the Qrevo Pro 2 at my home right now. It's doing really good. the Mova S70. I got the V70 are at my home. They're doing really well. That S70 is doing really well, but it's developed a little squeak that my wife just took a video of it, so I'll have to check that out. And then the Z70, when it releases, I'll get it. It's just not out yet. And the X60 with the arm, I'll get that. Again, justadatapproved.com. I do appreciate everybody's support. I've got new things that just got added to the website. Best cordless vacuum cleaners, best spot cleaners, I'm just getting into all of the stuff that I've reviewed in the past, and I'm putting it on my website. So again, justadatapproved.com, and thanks for Now, the best place to go to find these robot vacuum cleaner picks is justadatapproved.com. Up here in the top header, you're going to see best overall vacuums, best for pet hair, best under 1,000, best under 500, and best under 300. Let's check best overall. I don't give you 20 picks. I give you 5 of my top robot vacuum cleaners with the score, but I have all the information to back it up. If you want to read the full review, why did I pick the Mova V50? Let's go see the full review. You can see the videos that I have right here to back it up. I have my 3-month real-world score test, my real-world testing results, cost to own, my robot specs that I think are important to robot vacuum cleaners, some quick buy it if, skip if, and then a simple review. Thanks everybody for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Also check out where you can find all my approved products on my website, justadatapproved.com. You'll see a little link to it here at the end of the video. If you click on that, that's going to take you right to my website.